What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be reviewing Pocahontas the board game. This game came out in 1994 from Milton Bradley. Now, the object of Pocahontas is you're going to try to get John Smith back to his ship, and you're going to have two different sets of tokens that you're going to need. So let's show you Pocahontas. Okay, folks, let's go ahead and go over this game. In the very beginning, you're going to have John Smith over there on the start space, which is on his ship, and Pocahontas is going to be starting behind the waterfall. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to be the first player to get John Smith back to his ship, and you're going to be following a path that is kind of like a figure eight over here. Now you also have a spinner, and the spinner is kind of self-explanatory. If you spin a 1 for John Smith, you'll move John Smith 1. You won't spin Pocahontas until after you reach this meeting place over here, which I'll talk about. And right over here is Ratcliffe, and I'll talk about what happens here as well when you spin him. Now, what you're going to be trying to do is you're going to be trying to collect two different types of tokens and two different categories of tokens, essentially. You've got John Smith tokens, and here are pictures that are indicative of his culture, like the ship and the little gun. And there's more pictures like this. And then you have tokens from Pocahontas' culture, something like this. Now, what you're trying to do is you're trying to collect two of each of these tokens, and whenever you're able to do that, you're going to be able to try to get John Smith back onto his ship. Now, you also have a red token, and you don't want this. You're not going to be able to win the game if you have this, so you're going to have to try to get rid of it. Now, you have a whole bunch of these types of tokens, and I've just got them here in a cup for the purposes of this video, but you're simply going to just spread them out face down on the table, and you're going to be drawing them throughout the game. Now, there are also what are called meeting places in this game, and you're going to have a meeting place over here at the waterfall, and you're going to have a meeting place over here at the hut. You also have what is called the Pathfinder space, and this is a little wheel that you're going to be spinning whenever you reach it. And essentially the way it works is your first player is going to go ahead and spin the spinner over here, and he spun a 1 for John Smith, so then he will go and move 1. Now, there's a whole bunch of different spaces on this game, and there's a whole bunch of different pictures from the characters in the movie. If you end up landing on a leaf, nothing is going to happen. If you end up landing on a space that has Flit or Meeko on it, you're going to go ahead and draw one of these tiles. If you land on a space that has Percy or Wiggins on there, you're going to end up giving one of your tiles to one of your opponents. And if you end up spinning a Ratcliffe on the wheel, you're going to basically give put one of your opponents back where the face down tiles are. Now, at the very beginning, if you spin Pocahontas, you're not going to move her. But let's just say we've managed to get John Smith all the way over here. Now you've got this little wheel over here, and each person is going to spin it on their turn. So let's say the next player spins, and they're looking for Pocahontas here. Next player spins, and then the next player spins, and there is Pocahontas. So Pocahontas is going to go ahead and appear from the waterfall, as in the movie, and meet John Smith. And then whoever ended up spinning Pocahontas is going to go ahead and take a chip, and that is going to go ahead and end their turn. And now you're going to be able to move both Pocahontas and John Smith. Now, when you get over here to this space, let's just say Pocahontas was over here, and she ended up spinning a 3. That person is going to go ahead and move to the leaf, and you're going to go ahead and spin the Pathfinder wheel. Now, you're not going to be able to spin this until you are able to spin a number that is greater than the number of spaces that you would land on. So if you're over here, you would have to spin a 2 or greater. But anyway, whoever lands on this, they're going to go ahead and spin the wheel, and they're going to go ahead and try to be the player to meet the path. In this case, I went ahead and I spun the path. The player that spun the connecting path is going to move that character over, and then they're going to go ahead and collect another token. If they manage not to be able to do that, they're going to basically, it's going to go on to the next player. Now we're going to continue on over here to the hut where John Smith had been kidnapped by Powhatan. I think that's his name. Anyway, if Pocahontas ends up making it here first before John Smith, you're going to put John Smith over here in the hut. If John Smith ends up getting there before Pocahontas, you're going to put John Smith over here in the hut, and you're going to move Pocahontas over here to this space. And then there's another wheel over here that everybody is going to go ahead and spin. Whoever ends up spinning Pocahontas, John Smith will go ahead and be placed out of the hut next to her again. And as the same as the waterfall, that player will go ahead and collect a token, and that will end their turn. So now, once again, we're going to go travel this way. You'll hit the Pathfinder again. You'll spin it again, and whoever ends up meeting it, they will go ahead and cross over as in the previous turn. And then we're going to get over here to this section. Now, if the player has 2 of each type of token in here, they're going to try to see if they can get John Smith over to their ship. So let's say I happen to be over here and I happen to have both the chips and I end up spinning a 3 for John Smith. I would just simply go 1, 2, and 3, and that would go ahead and end the game. Now, if it turns out that I don't have both the chips that I need, I'm going to just simply continue around the board and go around it again. So I would just go past Miko and then just continue to follow the spaces. Now, I will go ahead and skip over the meeting spaces. I think I can go ahead and skip over the Pathfinder space as well. Now, there's also a little shortcut over here, so you don't have to go all the way back around the board with him, but it's right over here. Where Flit is over here in the river, you will just simply be able to float over here and then go back around this way. But ultimately, the player who is going to win is going to be the player that is able to spin a John Smith, get him onto the ship, and he has got both of each type of token and no red tokens. And that, folks, is Pocahontas the game. So my final thoughts on Pocahontas. Well, I have to say that the visuals of this game are really impressive. Pretty good quality components. I like the 3D pieces. And this game basically follows the movie if you've ever seen the movie. I think kids are going to like this game if they are fans of the Pocahontas movie or if they're fans of Disney. And that's probably as far as the enjoyment is going to go. For adults, there really isn't much of a game here. It's your spin, you collect chips, and you go around the board, and that's pretty much it. There are some kids games that I have that are really a lot of fun, but this one is very, very basic, and it's just tailored for kids who happen to like the Pocahontas movie. So if your kid likes the movie Pocahontas or is a Disney fan, you may want to go pick this up. I think you can get it for around $20. If you're an adult and you don't have kids, I would just go with something else. Anyway, that's my review of Pocahontas, guys. We'll see you later. Keep on gaming.